Have you ever paused mid-scroll, curious whether the latest sensational headline about a celebrity holds even a kernel of truth? When you saw Milana Vayntrub in G-string photos leave little to imagination, you might have done a double take, only to find the promise of steamy images evaporate the moment you clicked. But here's something more substantial than any clickbait tease: the real journey of a tiny girl who fled persecution, grew up selling Barbie dolls in front of the camera, and went on to become one of America's most recognizable commercial characters, all while using her rising fame to shine a light on one of the world's biggest humanitarian crises. Stick around, because this is the story you actually want to hear. It all starts with the familiar opening of Hollywood Habits, the channel that prides itself on diving deep into the lives of stars who inspire, entertain, and make an impact far beyond the screen. As the host greets viewers with a cheery welcome back, we're teased with fast cuts of red carpets and behind-the-scenes snapshots. Yet instead of the lurid photos the headline promised, the camera settles on Milana Vayntrub, framed as the relatable Lily Adams from AT&T's long-running ad campaign. The host's voiceover reminds us that this isn't a shallow gossip segment, but a genuine exploration of how someone with refugee roots transformed her own past into a platform for change. Born on March 8, 1987, in Tashkent, then part of the Soviet Union, Milana was just 2 years old when her family fled religious persecution and landed in West Hollywood, California. Imagine carrying little more than a dream of freedom across continents, only to step into a culture that felt entirely foreign. Despite the daunting odds, she found an early foothold in front of a camera. By age 5, she was already cast in Barbie commercials, perched on a plastic pink throne and uttering her first lines as a pint-sized actor. Those early gigs might have seemed like child's play, but they sowed the seeds of a career that would one day bridge Hollywood studios, comic book adventures, and humanitarian stages. After high school, Milana enrolled at the University of California, San Diego, where she briefly pursued traditional academics. But the lecture halls and textbooks left her restless. Something about the sterile formality of a campus couldn't compete with the electric buzz of a live audience. She followed her instincts to uproot herself a second time, this time into the world of comedy and improvisation. At the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in Los Angeles, Milana honed her timing, sharpened her wit, and learned to trust her instincts in front of an unpredictable crowd. There, amidst late-night sketch shows and cramped rehearsal rooms, she discovered the power of laughter to cut through pretense and connect people from all walks of life. Armed with a fresh comedic toolkit, Milana began landing guest spots on popular television shows. A Quicksilver patient on ER, a sharp-tongued cameo in Californication, an anxious ingenue in Silicon Valley, and an emotionally charged role on This Is Us. But nothing prepared viewers for her breakthrough as Lily Adams, the bright-eyed AT&T sales representative whose deadpan delivery and exasperated quips made switching phone carriers feel like swapping coffee shops. Those 30-second commercials weren't just about data plans. They showcased a character who was funny, flawed, and above all human. Suddenly, Lily Adams became a pop culture shorthand for that friend who actually cares about your signal strength. Yet Milana refused to be boxed in by a single persona. Leveraging the momentum from those ads, she dove headlong into new challenges, lending her voice to Marvel's irrepressible Squirrel Girl in the New Warrior series, stepping into spooky territory with the horror comedy Werewolf Within, and even starring in indie video games like After Forever, where she brought emotional depth to animated characters. Each role underscored her versatility, proof that she was more than a cute face in a yellow blouse. But it's not just her career choices that set Milana apart. It's the way she's chosen to give back. In 2016, drawing on her own childhood as a refugee, she co-founded the #Can'tDoNothing movement. Rather than limit her activism to a signature at the bottom of a press release, she turned every red carpet, every interview, and every social media post into an invitation to learn about the global refugee crisis. She partners with nonprofits on the ground, raises funds, and uses her platform to humanize the struggles of displaced families. For Milana, the spotlight isn't just a perch for selfies, it's a soapbox for causes that demand attention. Along the way, she's built a social media presence that mirrors her real life. Candid snapshots of improv rehearsals, backstage giggles with fellow comedians, travel diaries from refugee camps, and calls to action for policy change. If you were hoping to find G-string photos in her Insta feed, you'd be disappointed. But you'd also be missing the point. Milana posts what matters to her: moments of genuine connection, laughter in the face of adversity, and stories that remind us of our shared humanity. What can we learn from Milana Vayntrub's journey? First, authenticity always outlasts hype. Those sensational headlines come and go, but real stories of resilience, humor, and compassion stand the test of time. Second, success isn't measured solely by box office numbers or ad impressions. It's defined by the difference you make in the world. Third, it's never too late to reinvent yourself, whether that's trading a lecture hall for an improv stage or swapping the safety of commercial work for the uncertainty of activism. Milana's life proves that every chapter can be more compelling than the last, as long as you write it with purpose. So next time you're tempted by a flashy headline promising scandal, remember the real Milana Vayntrub, a refugee child turned Barbie girl turned breakout comedic actress turned global advocate. If her story moves you, share it with friends who need a reminder that the best spotlight isn't the one that exposes secrets. It's the one that illuminates hope. And if you want more no-nonsense celebrity deep dives, subscribe to Hollywood Habits. Because here we leave the clickbait behind and focus on the impact that truly matters.